Hey there dorks, Sparrows here, and today I'm about to get indignant because one of my top 5 favorite Pokemon isn't getting the respect it deserves. Of course, I'm talking about the sweet and adorable Trubbish. Only the general public doesn't see it that way. They see a bag of worthless trash. But unloved garbage may it be, Trubbish just yearns to be accepted by society. Now, if you're my therapist, you could say that I'm projecting here, but you're not, so shut up and buckle in, because we're giving Trubbish's Evo Garbodor a fresh gimmick on today's Mega Mania. Now I could step on my soapbox and give a winger speech about how Garbodor might be the most socially important Pokemon ever designed, but you're not going to care. Your opinion isn't going to change, because at the end of the day, all you're going to see is a heap of junk with junk stats. And I'll tell you what, my Mega Evolution doesn't change that. Mega Garbodor is only going to get bigger and uglier and stickier. Its stats will still make OU snobs scoff, because if I am to stick to my vision, a vision that takes Garbodor's thematic commentary on the perversion of consumerism and mankind's wanton destruction of the Earth's precious natural resources, if I am to stick to that vision, then no kind of stat distribution will make Garbodor quote-unquote viable. I can, however, give it a gimmick that I'm surprised the Pokemon Company has yet to touch. Now I'm getting ahead of myself, but the gimmick we're exploring this week is Hazards. Mega Garbodor is intended to become the face of both hazard control and hazard setting. Upon Mega Evolution, Garbodor becomes a junkyard filled with knickknacks and tic-tacs, gadgets and gizmos aplenty, because Garbo is no longer just compost. It gains the steel typing, creating the dreaded 4x type weakness to Earthquake. But it'll all come together, my friends. Have faith in the Mega Mania. But first, stats! I began Mega Garbodor's stat boost with my favorite trick in the book, a stat drop. Garbodor loses 44 points in speed, it may have wheels now, but they're rusted and flat and just generally not good for mobility. This gives us 144 stat points to play with. Immediately, 68 of those go into defense. This is to accommodate for its new steel typing and to solidify Garbo as a physical wall. Being as Garbodor drastically needs more Fire Blast defense as well, I placed 24 points into special defense. After looking at Garbodor's potential movesets, I decided that a boost in special attack would go a long way, so I dropped 32 points into that stat, and the last 20 points go straight into Garbodor's attack stat to represent heavier strikes from the mutated pile of waste. Now this may be all very lackluster, as Garbodor won't outspeed anything before it is annihilated by an earthquake, and that's all true, but Garbodor's ability more than makes up for that. In fact, Garbodor's ability might warrant it not getting any boosts at all. Mega Garbodor now has access to the ability Scrapyard. Scrapyard has both hazard setting and mitigation applications. Firstly, Scrapyard absorbs all hazards on the side of your field upon switching in, similar to how poison types absorb toxic spikes. As an added bonus, Scrapyard turns damage taken by hazards into health recovered. The second part of this ability sets hazards. Whenever Garbodor takes physical damage, it creates a random entry hazard on the opposing field. Scrapyard allows for Garbodor to make a true mess of the field by flinging out hunks of debris of itself. Now for a quick numbers breakdown, Garbodor heals 6.5% health from Stealth Rocks, and 12.5, 16.67, or 25%, depending on the amount of spikes absorbed. Toxic spikes and sticky web are also removed, but don't provide Garbo with any added benefits or recovery. And to clarify on the hazard setting end, the randomizer can proc the same hazards, so it's entirely possible that Garbo can repeatedly summon Stealth Rocks despite the fact that they don't stack. This means if you're lucky, you can get a full stack of hazards, and if you're unlucky, you'll end up with multiple sticky webs. When it comes to new moves, Garbodor is now getting access to 2 staple Steel-type moves, Gyro Ball and Flash Cannon. Gyro works in sync with Mega Garbodor's hindered speed, and Flash Cannon gives Garbodor a steel move for the special side of the spectrum. Garbodor will now also get access to Scald, which might sound crazy, but hear me out here. Mega Garbodor is intended for repeated switching in and out, and this sort of playstyle lends itself to crucial predictions. Scald gives Garbodor a thin line of offense against ground types looking to switch in and OHKO it. And without reliable recovery, the chance of burn helps keep Garbo on the field long enough for it to fire off more hazards. Also, I really want you to imagine the bubbling, boiling, burning sludge coming out of Garbodor's fingertips. I love that image, it's disgusting. For sets, I'd imagine most players will go double or nothing with Garbodor's physical defense. Those that opt out of physical defense will likely dip into the special defense to build a mixed wall. Garbodor has coverage up the wazoo. Drain Punch or Giga Drain both allow for recovery based on the side of the attack spectrum that you want to hit from. Physical Garbos can also utilize Seed Bomb, Gunk Shot, and Gyro Ball offensively, while special Garbodors have access to Dark Pulse, Thunderbolt, Focus Blast, and a myriad of poison moves like Sludge Wave, Sludge Bomb, and Venoshock. Venoshock also works fairly better with Garbo than other Pokemon due to the likely chance of getting toxic spikes on the field for free. If players want, they can hide behind a Rest Talk set to keep Garbo on the field as long as possible. And I'm just noticing now that we really love our Rest Talk sets here on Mega Mania, probably because we have a lot of walls that we've been building lately. For the player looking to capitalize on hazards, they can build a landfill set intended to stack as many layers of spikes as possible before Garbodor goes down. In the larger picture, Mega Garbodor is designed to partner with mons that are drastically held back by Stealth Rocks. Both Volcarona and Talonflame make excellent teammates that can use Garbodor to deter Stealth Rocks and tank incoming Stone Edges. Balancing Mega Garbo was a bit difficult due to the competitive value of Scrapyard. Too much defense in Garbo would be too hard to deal with, so I tweaked Garbo's defenses to a point where a fully defensive Garbo would be OHKO'd by most Earthquake users. Originally, it was intended to have Mega Aggron level defenses, but Filter is nowhere close to Scrapyard in competitive utility. I dropped Garbo's speed down to 31, just close enough to Quagsire's speed of 35, so that it can be sped correct. Why Quagsire, you ask? Well, one, because it is the most potent Earthquake user in the speed range I wanted Garbo to be in. Two, I'm really attached to the idea of Scald Garbodor, and even if that isn't the set most people run, a Quagsire would make a great counter to it. And three, and this one's a bit of a secret, guys, there's potential I'll be touching Mega Quagsire next season in Mega Mania. Shh, don't tell anyone. Now I want to know what tier you'd place Mega Garbodor in, and what set you'd run with it. Personally, I think Mega Garbodor would be a BLmon or an Ubers if Smogon deems Scrapyard too over-centralizing, which I really hope that wouldn't be the case because I see Scrapyard as a creative way to balance Stealth Rocks. I really hope you guys enjoyed this Mega Evolution that looks like he sold a 50-piece McNugget and is regretting to live the tale. I want to give a special thanks to my pal Mike Regan for turning a piece of trash drawing of trash into a masterpiece drawing of trash. If you like gimmicky Megas, subscribe for more Mega Mania because we worked on a few more of these together. And now, as always, here's a teaser for the next Mega Mania. Enjoy.